So this is kind of like advice on how to live a good life also, right here. Is stop obsessing about these three things, these three major worldly obsessions, right? Sex, money, and gossip. And a good spiritual practitioner is kind of let go of that coal too. And just like stop worrying about other people and their problems, and other people and their money, and other people and whether you can sleep with them or not. Just relax. Pride, hypocrisy, and other vices should be given up. I guess you never heard that before, maybe, huh? Pride, abhimana. Abhimana means taking. It means pride. One of the things that you can do if you're having trouble with pride, and we all have trouble with pride, is think about what it is that you're proud of. So investigate the object of your pride. So, I think there's two obvious ones, or maybe three or four, I don't know. One thing that you can be proud of is your looks. You can be, I'm a really good-looking guy, or I'm a really beautiful woman, and you have a kind of a pride in that. How long is that going to last? You see, one way to get over pride is to investigate the object that you're proud of and just realize that you're going to lose it. You're just going to lose it. And so what's the point of investing a whole lot of mental energy in how happy you are that you got it when you're just going to lose it? What about your intelligence? I'm so smart. I'm smarter than everyone, I guess. What about that? You lose that too, okay? If you live long enough, there'll come a time where you can't find your way back from the cafeteria to your room in assisted care living. No kidding. All right? So what's the point in spending too much time being proud about your intelligence? What about your money? Transitory is just like everything else. And furthermore, these things, the pride in those things themselves is setting you up to suffer. Because not only will you lose them, not only are they constantly changing, but you never get enough of them. There's no satiating pride. If you're proud of your looks, you're always like, well, somebody else was a little bit better than me, right? Then you get into this whole thing about I don't have enough good looks, or if it's about your intelligence, this is one of the good things about living in an academic life, is that people who get into the higher levels of academic life have been smart their whole lives, and they were the smartest kid in high school, and they did really well in college, and by the time you get to the higher levels of the academic life, it soon becomes, unfortunately and surprisingly, clear that there are a lot smarter people than you. And that, I suggest, would happen to any walk of life. That if you press it far enough, if you go far enough, you'll start realizing that you're not the best. You're not the smartest. You're not the most beautiful. You're not the cleverest. You're not the best plumber. There's always somebody better than you. And so if you got the pride in the thing, if you got the pride in the thing, you're just setting yourself up to suffer. So that's one way to get over pride. Hypocrisy means saying things different than what you do. Saying things different than what you do. So in many, many religious texts, they urge the practitioner to make your words and your actions match up. To be true to yourself. To walk the walk as well as talk the talk. Right? And those other vices, all other vices should be given up. With everything one does, being fully dedicated to that one, to the divine. What is done out of desire, anger, pride, etc. is directed towards that one only. This is a little controversial verse here. What's he saying here? That if you have this kind of deep-seated devotion and love, even acts done under the spell of a mental affliction can be valuable. Can be meritorious. Okay? And that's a little radical. But here's one way to understand it, okay? In Buddhist terms, for those of you who are Buddhist, if you have what they call bodhicitta, bodhicitta is the wish to get enlightened for the sake of others. And not just a wish, right? An obsessional compulsion, where everything in your life is just driven by that wish, then everything that you do becomes meritorious. Because of why? The intention. So, this is one of those verses that, you gotta kind of parse a little bit. If the intention is strong, so overridingly strong, then everything you do, going to the bathroom, eating, maybe even having arguments with other people, becomes a meritorious action because of the intention. And that's the kind of power, that's the power of bhakti he's suggesting here. That if you get that so deep in your heart, that even the mental afflictions can't override the supreme, deep intention that drives your whole life. The motivation, in other words, sanctifies all actions. The motivation sanctifies all actions, if it's deep enough and strong enough. Last verse. Breaking out of the limitations of the three secondary forms mentioned above, which we didn't really understand what they were, so we won't go into that. One should act out of the pure love alone, acting always with the pure love, like that of a servant serving the master, or a lover adoring the beloved. And this is a reference to a couple of those bhavas. Remember we were talking about the bhavas? Of the kind of sort of emotional stances that you can take vis-a-vis the divine. Like a master serving, like a servant serving the master, devoted like that. Or like a lover, devoted to a lover. That's prema. So all activities then become opportunities to become the vessel or vehicle of God. One should act out of pure love alone. If that love is there, then all actions become potentially meritorious actions, just as the vehicle of God.